Update. We were waiting on that transfer. My mom had left a voicemail, no more transfer. I replied the next day. I had 23 missed calls and 38 text messages. Part 2. I peered through the peephole to see Edward standing there, looking disheveled. My heart raced, and my palms sweated, but I opened the door. What the hell, Rebecca? He pushed past me into the apartment. You changed your number. Mom is losing her mind with worry. I doubted that. I needed some space. He looked incredulous. You can't just cut off your family because you need space. My landlord had given me an eviction notice yesterday, no concern for me, no questions about why I might need space, just the eviction notice and the money problem. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, and I was, despite everything. I didn't want my brother homeless. Sorry doesn't pay my rent, Rebecca, he said. He ran his hands through his hair, exasperated. Look, whatever is going on with you, can you just send the money and then deal with your whatever this is? That's when I knew for certain I wasn't a sister to him. I was an ATM with inconvenient emotions. I can't do that, Edward, I said. His face darkened. Because from where I'm standing, you're just being selfish after everything this family has done for you. A laugh escaped me, hollow. What exactly has this family done for me, Edward? He raised an eyebrow. Raised you, supported you, been there for you. He listed these like they were extraordinary acts of generosity rather than the baseline of what family should be. And in return, I've given all of you nearly $100,000 over the past 3 years, I said, my voice steady. Money that wasn't loaned but given, money I worked 60-hour weeks to earn. He had the decency to look uncomfortable, but only briefly. We needed it, he said. You don't know what I need, Edward. None of you ever asked. He scoffed. What, are your feelings hurt because we don't fawn over your fancy job? Grow up, Rebecca. That's when I told him about the video. I watched his face change as I described exactly what I'd seen, what I'd heard. He tried to backpedal. We were just joking around, you know how family is after a few drinks. No, I don't know, I said, because apparently my understanding of family was completely wrong. I asked him to leave. Surprisingly, he did, but not before telling me I was making a huge mistake, that I'd regret turning my back on family. Maybe he was right, but as I closed the door behind him, I felt something unexpected, relief, like I could finally breathe again. The next day, I received an email from my mother. The subject line was "We need to talk." The message was brief. Rebecca, whatever you think you know, you're misunderstanding. We're your family, we love you. Please call me so we can sort this out. No acknowledgement of the video, no apology, just gaslighting and emotional manipulation. I didn't respond. 3 days later, a more desperate email arrived. Your father had to borrow money from his brother for his medication. Is that what you wanted, to humiliate us, to make your father beg? The guilt stabbed at me. I'd never wanted to hurt them, only to stop letting them hurt me. I wrote back a single line. Dad has a pension and Social Security. His medication costs $43 per month with his Medicare coverage. I knew this because I'd previously researched it when I started helping with their finances. They had income, not abundant, but enough to cover necessities without my help. What they didn't have was enough to maintain the lifestyle they'd grown accustomed to, the lifestyle my money had been funding. My mother didn't respond to that email. A month passed. The silence from my family was both painful and peaceful. I missed them, or rather, I missed who I thought they were. I missed belonging, having people who knew my history, who shared my blood. But I didn't miss the anxiety that came with every phone call, every text message, every family gathering where I felt more like a resource than a daughter or sister. During that month, I did something revolutionary. I started spending money on myself. I booked a weekend trip to the beach, signed up for a photography class I'd been eyeing for years, started looking at real estate listings for my own home, not just dreaming about it, and I started therapy. Untangling yourself from people who have convinced you that their needs matter more than yours is complicated work. 6 weeks after Edward's visit, Carol showed up at my office. I was walking out after work when I spotted her sitting on a bench near the entrance, her 2 kids beside her. My heart sank. Using the children was a low blow, even for them. Aunt Rebecca. 8-year-old Lily ran toward me, arms outstretched. I hugged her tight, genuinely happy to see her. The children were innocent in all this. 5-year-old Ben followed, wrapping himself around my legs. We missed you. Mommy said you were lost, but we found you, he said. I looked at Carol over their heads. Her expression was a practiced mix of concern and relief. We've been so worried, she said, stepping forward to hug me. I let her, but remained stiff in her embrace. You disappeared on us, she said. I changed my phone number, I corrected. And told Mom why I wasn't sending money anymore. She winced at the direct mention of money, glancing at the kids. Can we go somewhere to talk? Maybe get ice cream? She directed this last part to the children, who immediately began jumping with excitement. I agreed, not wanting to have this conversation in front of my workplace or disappoint the kids. We walked to a nearby ice cream parlor. The children chatted about school and friends, oblivious to the tension between their mother and me. After they were settled with their cones at an outdoor table where we could see them through the window, Carol got down to business. Look, I don't know what happened between you and Mom and Edward, but I saw the video, I said, keeping my voice low. Carol's face fell. She recovered quickly. Oh, that? We were all just joking around, Rebecca. You know how family is. The same line Edward had used, like they'd rehearsed it, joking about me being their ATM, about only tolerating me because of my paychecks. You can click on share and more to see if there is a part 3.